So we're back, okay? And in the spirit of getting more done like Diddy, like I said in my last video, I'm trying to make this quick video to kind of just share my thoughts as far as being organized and how being organized can really transform how productive you are. Okay, how much you can achieve. Just think about it. I mean, just look at Diddy was organized. Even his freak offs were organized. He sent somebody there in advance. The oil had to be in place. Everything had to be in place. Okay, so it all kind of ties it together. It's we have to focus on getting more done in our day. And organization is just everything. I'm gonna go ahead and preface and just start off with a few different quotes that I pulled up as it pertains to just being organized. For every minute spent organizing, an hour is earned. Okay, that is a quote by Benjamin Franklin. Another thing, clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. I hate clutter. I really do. I'm not a big fan of clutter. Just mentally and also physically. I like to stay in a clean environment, and also mentally, you want to make sure that you're clean. Okay, your thoughts are organized. That's by Barbara Hemphill. Organizing is what you do before you do something. So when you do it, it's not all mixed up. Okay, let that marinate for just a second, because whenever you're doing something, especially as a business home broker, there's so many different things that we're trying to do. We're trying to maintain communication with our clients. We're trying to do the research with the different lenders that we work with. You're submitting applications. There's so much going on. You're dealing with emails, phone calls, you do Zoom meetings. There's just so much. And if you're not organized, if you don't have the best organization skills, you're not just going to be able to do this right. That's by Barbara Hill. Organizing is what you do before you do something, so that when you do it, it's not all mixed up in your brain. Disorganized breeds confusion, and confusion breeds stress. I mean, this, I can honestly really understand what this comes from. Recently with me trying to do as much as I'm doing with maintaining my business with Pantech Consulting Group, with now training students, with taking on new affiliate partners, there's just so many different masters that I'm trying to serve, and I can see how my lack of organization, based on what I mentioned in the last video, me not maintaining my task list, me not waking up early enough, me not making sure that I pretty much just, manage my time. Those are the three major things that I knew got me successful, but I stopped doing them for I don't know what reason. But what it has done is my life has been more stressful as it pertains to work recently. I just feel, I felt it. I feel that lack of not feeling accomplished when you go to sleep breeds stress. Disorganized breeds confusion, and confusion breeds stress. That's an anonymous quote. Being organized isn't about perfection. It's about efficiency, reducing stress and saving time. That's also by an anonymous quote giver. The more organized you are, the more you can achieve. I mean, it's just kind of common sense, okay? That's just kind of common sense. So what I wanted to do in this video is I came up here with four things that I'm going to show you how I keep these things organized, and maybe you can use some of what I do, or, kind of make your own, as it pertains to some of the things that we do here as a business home broker. I'm going to talk to you about how I organize and manage my emails. Emails is huge. Okay. As a business home broker, you got to manage your emails. And me, I have like 5 different email accounts, not even including my personal account that I manage. And I have a system that I'm going to share with you on how I get that done and do it effectively. Another thing is how I manage my task list. I briefly shared a moment of my last video talking about Diddy, about how I manage my task list, but now I'm going to expand on it even further. Another thing is how I manage my folders. When you're working in the lending industry, there's numerous documents that you need to be able to have, and you need to be able to organize and be ready. We're talking about credit reports, bank statements, tax returns, contracts, agreements, invoices, pay stubs, whatever it is, tax returns, financial statements. All of these things needs to be organized, and we're going to expand more on that here in just a second. And another thing, quick links. Quick links just meaning there's certain websites, certain pages that you need to access, and you need to do it in a quick way. When I need to do a Zoom meeting, anyway, I'm going to show you we're going to dive in here. We're going to get rid of my big head here real quick and get to my email. And we're going to start off with that first thing is how do you stay organized with your emails? I'm going to show you an easy method. I've been using this for over 15 years, because as a business loan broker, you get a ton of emails. And one of my biggest pet peeves, even with just people in general, you ever borrowed somebody's phone and you look at their text messages and they have like 200 unopened messages, to me, that causes stress. Okay. Or if you look at somebody's email, most people, and you know I'm talking to you, you don't clean out your inbox. You have like 5,000 messages in your inbox. And when somebody sends you an email, you got to go look for that specific email, and you miss out on so much because you're not keeping that inbox organized. So we're going to talk about how to organize your inbox in a so simple, okay? And once you watch this system, it's going to be really crazy. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Of course, you can see my screen there. I'm going to go ahead and move this thing just a little bit out the way. And there's only 4 folders, okay? There's a little bit more, as you can see on here, but there's 4 folders that I must have in every single email that I manage, okay? You know, this is my personal inbox. It has those 4 folders. I'm going to describe them to you in just a second. You know, I even have some, emails that I manage with some of the different affiliates that I work with. Nevertheless, they all have those 4 inboxes that I'm mentioning to you. And I'm going to talk about those 4 inboxes here in just a second and how I use them. Okay. So first off, what we have is, let me get back to the pen today. We have the action folder. Action folder is a powerful folder. This is where, actually, let me slow down for a second. So I have a rule when I'm cleaning my emails. When I'm cleaning my emails, I tell myself, if it takes less than 3 minutes, you need to go ahead and address it right then. If it's going to take you longer than 3 minutes, you need to put it in your action folder, and the designated time that you've set aside during your day to clean your emails, you need to tackle it then. But most importantly, your action folder needs to stay clean at the end of the day. Okay. That's just something that I live by. Your action folder must stay clean by the end of the day, unless, you're waiting on something or something it is. So there's an action folder. Then another folder that you need to have is a waiting on response folder. You ever send somebody an email inquiring about something and then you're waiting for them to respond, and then now you're trying to go back to that email and look for it so you can send them an email again, maybe to ask for that same thing again? You don't need to do that. There's a waiting on response folder. I created it right here. This is a waiting on response folder, okay? Then there is a when possible folder. When possible folder is a folder that I created for when you just get an email, you just want to touch back, you want to look at it whenever you're ready. It's not no sense of urgency. Even if you miss the opportunity, it's not going to be a big deal. You put it on the when possible folder. Then the last folder that I want to introduce you to is a save for later folder. If somebody sends you passwords, somebody sends you there's so many different things that you don't want to delete that email. That email is very important that you want to save for later. Maybe you keep it there forever. Maybe it stays there for just a little bit, but you want to refer back to it. Those are the 4 emails that you must have in every single email account. Matter of fact, pause this video right now. Create you those 4 folders because they're going to change your life. Again, action folder, waiting on response folder, when possible folder, and save for later. How do you use them? As you're cleaning your email, if it takes you less than 3 minutes, address the issue right then. If it takes you longer than 3 minutes, put it on the action folder. You guys are going to see me do this right now. I just cleaned my emails just briefly, but you're going to see me actually do this right now. And when you send an email to somebody and you're waiting on response, go ahead and put that specific email on the waiting on response folder, because the next day you're going to come in, you're going to clean your action folder, and then you're going to clean your waiting on response folder. Okay. And then lastly, you have your save for later folder. Save for later, again, just speaks for itself. You save those items for later. So we're going to go through this email real quick, just briefly. Watch how I clean this email. This is a marketing email right here for one of the different affiliate lenders that we work with. This is just a little marketing email. I'm going to go ahead and clean that. Okay. This right here, whatever it is, looks like spam. I'm going to go ahead and clean that. This right here, also spam. I'm going to clean that. Nationwide. I had, my trailer. I have a trailer. We had a hailstorm, so I was filing a claim yesterday. That's what this email is for. I don't need that right now, so I'm going to put that later. This is one of the people that have, opted into our training. Go ahead and forward this over to one of our sales rep, Mr. Steven, so you can go ahead and make sure he checks in and taps into these people. Again, it takes me less than 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and address it right then, here, now. I'm not going to wait until later. I'm not just going to let this thing stay in my folder for no reason. We're going to go ahead and take care of that and address it now. Get rid of these emails and move on. Right here, your Seesaw account is scheduled to be deleted in 7 days. I don't even know what Seesaw is. Maybe this is something for my kids' school or something like that. But again, it's going to take me more than 3 minutes to address this. So I'm going to put it on the action folder because I'm going to tap into that later. This right here is one of the communications that we're having with one of the different lenders that we use. Okay, great. Now I can see what's going on. I'm trying to connect a client to a lender so they can go ahead and get them funded. What I'm going to do is with this one, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the action folder so I can address that later. This right here is a from one of my assistants, Miss Mary. I'm going to put that on the action folder. It's going to take me more than 3 minutes in order to do that. Thank you for joining. Okay. This is just an email that she sent out to people about the training. I'm going to send her an email because there was an issue with this video. Did you see the issue I addressed with this video? Maybe. Again, it took me less than 3 minutes to address that issue. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get that thing out of my folder right here. Memorial Day, noted apologies. Okay. Okay, good. No problem. All right. And then we got a last email right here. Okay. This lady, Influx Crazy. Okay. Okay. She's just letting me know she's still interested in the program. Look how clean that is. Okay. Think about that. I am done. I am done cleaning my emails. Okay. This is probably the first thing that you do when you're drinking your coffee every morning, getting your day started, trying to organize your thoughts and all that good stuff. You want to go ahead and knock these things out so you can have a clean email. Now, eventually during the day, whenever you got some downtime, get into that action folder and make sure you clear all those things out. Okay, it's critically important that you clear all those things out of the action folder. And then, of course, in the process of cleaning your emails, when you're doing it, that designated time that you set aside to clean your emails, get in that waiting on response folder. Make sure you respond to all those people that were waiting on you to respond. Or, maybe there's some people that you emailed and you're waiting for them to respond back to you. You want to go ahead and do that. And then your one possible folder, you can maybe check into this once every week. It's not a big deal. Again, maybe some whatever it is, there's just some things that are just never a big deal. And then the next folder, as I mentioned to you, was that save for later folder. So I've just told you my tip on how to manage emails. You need to implement that same structure. Again, it's very powerful. It's going to keep you organized. It's going to make sure you stay on top of things. It's really critically important. Now, next, what I'm going to try to do is, we don't try to do anything. Okay. We do things like Diddy. We just do it. Okay. So I'm going to stop. I will stop with all the Diddy stuff. Okay. I am going to stop with all the Diddy stuff, I promise. So one of the things that I'm going to introduce you to is how I manage all my clients' folders and how I go about organizing everything, okay? Clearly, I cannot show you any sensitive information on this specific video, but I'm just going to kind of walk you through how I manage clients' folders, how I manage all these documents, everything that I get. You got to stay organized. If you don't stay organized, there's something wrong with you, okay? So I'm going to introduce you a little bit to my my folders, as I call it. So with Penton Consulting Group, I run a few different businesses, of course, but this is the Penton Consulting Group one. There's Broker Solutions Academy. Everything has a folder, okay? And if you're saving your documents on your computer, there's something wrong with you, okay? There's cloud drives out there. Google Drive is like $10 a month. You can get like a terabyte. And the reason why that's important is if your computer fails, if for some reason I spill water on this computer, or one of my kids or my dogs come by and I go for a break and my dog is chewing on the computer, whatever it is, I'm gonna whoop my dog's butt, but I'm gonna go get a new computer, plug it up, crank up my Google Drive, and I'm right back to where I left off. So it's critically important that you manage everything on the cloud drive, okay? I don't know why you would want to save anything on your computer anyway. I don't save nothing on my computer. It's all on the cloud drive. But nevertheless, each one of the folders is organized, but the purpose of this video is not to go through all the different folders that I have, but specifically how to manage the clients folder. There is a folder that I have all my clients in, all organized. And even the different affiliates that I work with, I have a specific folder for each and every single one of them, okay? So when I have a new client, I usually create a folder and I call that client, whatever. Let me call this folder Test Client. My client's name is Test, first name is Test, and last name is Client, okay? So where's my Test Client at? Where's that folder that I just saved? Let me go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna organize this based on date. There it is. This is that one. Now, I have this thing called a folder templates. As you can see on my right side, I have a left folder and a right folder, okay? I have both of these open. I grab this and I usually copy and paste these simple templated folders that I already created, okay? I don't recreate each one of these folders every single time. You saw what I did? This is a folder template. It's a template that I already have in my Google Drive. And all of these folders are empty. But what this does is every single client that I open up, I'll go ahead and I slap and paste these templated folders in there. When I get their credit report, guess where it's going to be at? In the credit report folder. When I get their financial documents, based on what it is, the financial documents folder, as you can see, you open it up and it's broken down to different financial documents that you're going to have. Guess where I put the bank statements? I usually put them in there. Financial forms. We're talking about personal financial statements, year-to-date balance sheets, whatever it is. I usually put the financial forms in that financial forms folder. Tax returns, it's going to be in there. And again, it's broken down. Personal and corporate tax returns, as you can see there. W-2s and pay stubs, they usually go right there. Processing, this is where I manage the transmission for every single client that I process. Let's say we're doing business lines, credit card stacking. Every single lender, I'll open up a folder for each and every single lender, and I'll save the information for that specific lender in that folder. Okay? Business loans. This is called revenue term loans. And when I submit an application with the lender, if they give us an approval or whatever it is, it's all saved in there. Credit consulting. We also do credit consulting as well. Our credit consulting program is broken down into 3 different rounds. All the different rounds are saved in there. Each letter that I write for my clients, I can go back in there and I can pick it up. Equipment financing, personal lines, personal loans, real estate loans, SBA processing. When I submit the application for that specific lender, whatever that lender, uses that lender's application, because some lenders, you submit an application, you have to use the application. You do all of that within that specific folder, and this is just for any kind of project information, any additional things that I have for a specific project. Real estate documents or real estate processing, they're in that RE folder. And as you can see, everything stays organized. Everything must stay organized. Once they do the agreement, I save it in the agreement folder. Social security card, utility bill, and all that stuff is right in there. Everybody in the team is on the same accord. Okay, there is no, hey, what did you do with Charles' credit report or Henry's bank statements? Go to the freaking folder. What the hell you mean? Go to the folder and pull it up. You got to stay organized with your folders. It's critically important. Now, hopefully, this tip right here just kind of helps you out. Don't be that guy that just gets a folder and just puts everything in one freaking folder. Okay, we're not even going in here talking about how I labeled each one of the documents. Okay, when I'm talking about credit reports, it's not just going to be dumped in there. It's going to be labeled as initial credit report with a specific date. Any new credit reports that come after that, they're going to be labeled as updated credit report with a specific date. To just kind of give you an example, this is one of my clients right here. Credit report, you can see right there, name and all of that. You can see initial report. You can see updated report. Everything is right in there. Business lines, you can see everything, all the different lenders that we work with and all that stuff. It's all organized in that specific folder. This is one of the different affiliates that I work with. One of my students, I should say, that I work with, that I will process a bunch of his stuff. Everything is organized. These are the leads. Everything that's in processing is right in here. You can go in here and you can see exactly, the credit reports, the dates, everything. It's all right there. And if everybody is in sync and everybody is basically doing the same thing and maintaining the same organizational structure, what does it say on here? What's that? Disorganization breeds confusion and confusion breeds stress. You make it a less stressful work environment. Okay. So 2 things that I just showed you right there: how to do the folders and how to do the emails. I do not want to make this video long. So if you want to join me on the next video where I talk about how to manage your task list and how to manage your quick links, we're going to do that on the next video. I appreciate it. Again, get more done in your day like Diddy does. I'll holler at you. See you in the next video.